Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Quarantine Questionnaire. It's been a long layoff for me. I haven't done an interview in a while. I thought, build up the suspense. I'm really happy to be doing this interview with a very good friend of mine. He was the driver of the CS00, two different versions of that boat. The CS519, which also became the F119, the S12, the F17, the F9, the H777, which is now going to be the H519, the GP777, and the most legendary ride of all coming up, the GP444, the Grand Prix Valleyfield. He is a U.S. world record holder in H350, a U.S. national champion in the 2.5 liter class, an HRL four-time champion, 2010, 2011, massive asterisk beside that one, H350 in 2015 and 2018, a two-time Valleyfield winner in H350, the man who is known to his friends as the guy. He's known to race fans as a member of the Brockville Mafia. He's just fast by affiliation, folks. And to race fans, he's known as Mr. Ken Henderson. How's it going, guy?
Wow, I don't know. I think I'm gonna bring you along with me everywhere I go, guy. Going well, very well.
Sometimes it's nice to hear what you've accomplished in this sport, because as it goes on, it's just the next one. So it's nice to hear what you've accomplished, and you've certainly accomplished a lot. Before we get started, I just wanted to just fire that into the screen for a second. Big W last night for the Bleu Blanc Rouge. I'm sure most viewers will love that, but that's over now, so I got to represent.
Nice.
My man, Kent. A lot of history for you in the sport. A lot of good times for me personally, working alongside you as your radio man. So really, really cool for me to be doing this interview. So thank you for giving us your time.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it, and miss everybody out there, and hopefully we will see each other soon.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's been a heartbreaker the last few years, but maybe it's given us all a chance to kind of reset and understand what's important to us all, and just getting back to the race course and seeing everybody is pretty big. So I'm going to start with a really important question. Is it boxers or briefs?
None.
Oh,
there, I'm loving it, Stevie.
He's out there and loving it. Little commando action, nice. Okay, we got body wash or you use soap scrubber?
Body wash.
Yeah, body wash.
What are those things called? The buffets or whatever.
Okay. Oh,
you know what I mean.
Things. Yeah. I guess.
Yeah.
So speaking of overachieving, how's Cinnamon?
Cinnamon's doing well. Still looking good.
Hey, yeah, you're a lucky man, Kent. Cinnamon's a wonderful person. And,
thank you for racing to that. So shout out to my father-in-law, Michael.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on the fact that you're going to be driving the Grand Prix 444 GP Valleyfield. It's filled with a legendary team. Frank Richardson, Jeff Richards. I mean, what are your thoughts on this? It's pretty cool.
Well, it was a huge honor when I got that call. It seems like so long ago now, and hopefully we can get that boat in the water soon. But when there was some rumors going around about that, and when I got that call from Jeff asking if I'd be interested, it was obviously it was a no-brainer. But just the thought of being able to drive the boat with that number, that boat with that number and with that history and the history of the people that have driven it, it's unbelievably an honor, and hopefully I can compare to what those guys have done, and I've got to take French lessons as well.
Yeah, we really should do that course. I've been
Yeah,
promising that for a while.
we've been
Um,
talking.
yeah, I mean, I have no doubt that you're going to do a great job behind the wheel. There are some pressures that come along with that, of course, especially when you're driving in Valleyfield with that boat. You're going to have a lot of fans behind you that you've never met. Um, just just for the sake of the fact that that number's on the boat, the cat cat cat. So it's pretty
Yeah.
awesome, man. You get to yell that out in the drivers' meeting when they ask you if you're there. Like it's pretty cool,
Oh,
man.
I know. Yeah. Well, and it's with Paul doing the motors and Bert building the hull, and Jeff Richards, as the crew chief. It's I know I'm going to be getting into a boat that's extremely safe as well as competitive. So it's definitely mine to lose.
Yeah, I was in at the shop while they were building that hull to see Bert for a bit and just to kind of check out some of the stuff he was doing. And um, and that, because you mentioned it, the safety aspect of it has come so far in such a short time. Um, it must give you some comfort, and I know I'm proud of Bert and Jamie and what they've done, but it must give you some comfort knowing that you're going into a state-of-the-art piece of equipment where you can really hang it out there and feel safe.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, the amount of time and effort that's put into improving those hulls and making them safer, it definitely gives you a lot more confidence.
I would agree 100%. Now, you're going to be doing double duty when HRL starts to resume. I guess the 350 is going to have a new number. Is that right?
Yeah, we're going back to the number 519 that in honor of Carson Riley Henderson, our daughter. We took that number out in 2012, and when we went to H350 and had the partnership with Huey and the 777 gang, lent the number to my brother Tyler when we brought my father-in-law's boat down to the East Coast, and absolutely, it seemed that the time was right to put that back on, and definitely be racing in her honor around that.
And that's great. I mean, I think Tyler did a great job honoring Carson as well over the years with the kind of keeping that same number from the original ride too. And have you, uh, from the original color scheme and everything, have you thought about a new paint scheme for that boat?
Well, it's definitely getting a new scheme on it. Haven't we've talked about it a few different things with shout out to Stacy Anderson at Toban Electric. He's been with me for quite a few years, so I think he's committed again for this year and into the future. So I know we'll probably do a scheme around the with the black and the yellow and the gray and the white. Maybe add a little bit of purple into it or something. So we definitely have something there. So it's kind of tough with the rule changes that are potential, or the hull changes potentially coming with the 350 class. What do you do? So hopefully we will be able to make that decision and have something nice coming into Detroit in August of 2021.
Yeah, it's exciting that we may have a chance to race, and fingers crossed. But the way the numbers are looking, it looks like we may be going racing. Super excited to get back to see everybody, even more than racing itself, just to have everybody in one place together. I think it's going to be a big celebration. It's exciting stuff, and I know that your 350 is among the favorites. A little bit unfortunate that we're not going to see Dylan Runny there to kind of try and fight back for his returning championship. It'd be a nice battle between the two of you and many others, but there's lots of competition. I'm excited to watch you out there. I think you're going to be tired though. We're not going to see you late on too many Saturday nights.
No, it'll be there'll be no chance of anything other than triple zeros on Saturday and Sunday mornings. And
yeah, I'm gonna miss working with you, Ken.
Looking forward to the double duty. I know a couple other guys are doing it. I think Tater and will be comparing our fitness regimen, even though I've got about 15 years on him. I think I'll be able to keep up to him.
I think so. I don't think he's out running 5K. So like I said earlier, I got to do radios with you for many years, and it was an honor, man. It was a lot of fun. We won a lot of races. Um, you have a new radio guy coming in. I had some other commitments, so I couldn't commit to you. So, how about Jimbo? I mean, he's a great radio guy. I've had him before. I think you're in good hands.
Yeah, you were awesome, Steve. We were together for quite a few years, so not a lot of talking on my end needed. It was, we knew what each other was about, and sad to see you go. Jimbo did my radios in Detroit in the last time we were there, so very happy with the way he did them, and I think we'll have a very good partnership. So definitely looking forward to communicating with him.
Yeah, he's one of those really good non-driver radio guys, and it's hard to find that. So I know you're in good hands. So he's going to be fun to work with too. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're in good hands there, and he's so passionate about the GP 444 and Valleyfield. You're in good hands. So I'm excited to see that happen. Yeah, it's going to be cool to watch, man. If you had a beer to choose, what would be your favorite?
Usually the go-to beer would be like an MGD in a bottle or a Heineken. Been really on to the 1,000 Ounce Brewery beers. It's a new brewery in the Brockville area. They have a good lineup of beers, so drinking quite a few of those. So probably, in the States, I like the MGD, and in Canada, usually the Heineken, and then more recently the 1,000 Ounce Brewery brews. Little shout out to those.
Looking forward to when the patios open up to get down there. I actually haven't sat on their patio yet, so I'm looking forward to that. It's nice to have local business that's doing new things, and hopefully we get to work with them moving forward with our event. I haven't asked you about the 1,000 Islands Regatta yet. Obviously, you're a huge part of it. You're a leader. What are your thoughts on the 1,000 Islands Regatta, what we've done, the future, all that stuff?
It's definitely been a lesson learned. Steve, you've been there from the beginning back. I think we brought her back around something. I don't remember the first year we did it, but started out slow, and people have come and people have gone. I think you and I are the only constants. Bert's been there, and he's not been there, but and Tyler came on and definitely helped make the event a lot bigger through obviously the last time we raced, it was a sad weekend, and we absolutely do not want to end on that note. We do have funds in the bank. Government supported us last year, even though there was no event, and this year, we'll be looking for that as well. So 2021, we're hoping, or sorry, 2022. We're hoping to have a really great splash on the Brockville waterfront with some good music and some beers and calm water, hopefully. So I think we have a committed committee as of now, and so yeah, we'll definitely be planning for it.
Yeah, I certainly miss it. I know it's a lot of work when we do it, and we stress and we worry, and we usually cheers each other at the end, and it always turns out to be something that we feel really good about. So I really hope to get back to it too. It's a shame that we haven't been able to continue, but I think we've got a great event, and I agree with you. It's going to be fun once we get back to it. Everybody's put so much into that event that it would really be a shame if we didn't get back. So,
yeah, we do a lot of work on it, and then we've had enough pretty much to the weekend of, and then the weekend happens, and for the most parts it's positive, and it's like, okay, we're doing it again. It's like we're we like to torture ourselves or something, but it's definitely the weekend of and getting the feedback. It's amazing.
It's like an addiction, kind of like we're suckers for punishment. So if you were to pick out of your whole career, and I know it's a tough one, who's the best driver that you've ever raced against?
I think you're might be breaking up a little bit here, Steve. I'll pop
Yeah,
in pop in the house. Might be my connection being outside and whatnot. So
it might be mine too, buddy. Internet's
okay.
been shoddy, but the little guys.
Yeah. I'll come into my office and you can look at my vanity wall too.
Oh, the vanity wall. Let me see that before this next question. Nice. A lot of Pierce Williams photos up on there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Another one gone too soon. My question to you was, who's the best driver, and it's a tough question to answer, that you've ever raced against?
Yeah, that's there's been quite a few. You know, I always have to give shout outs to my brother. We've raced against each other. My brother Bert. Tyler. Bert and I raced each other. Some really good battles over the years. Definitely he's up there, but you know, on a regular basis over the last few years, probably, you know, the toughest one is Donnie in the 350 class. Like, he just does not give up. And you know, there's a couple of good still shots from Tonawanda in 2019 where you know, at the end of the race I was like, you're such a bully, Donnie. But he's definitely, he stands out in the 350 class for sure. That you know, just don't give up attitude, and you know, he's always there and whatnot. So between, you know, on a regular basis, recently probably Donnie, back in the 2.5 days, you know, you were pretty tough, and Rob Stevenson, Monahan obviously as well in the 2.5 days in 350. You know, Donnie is who really points out. But my brother and I have had some very memorable and good battles as well. So
yeah, it's been fun to watch. It's been fun to watch. Donnie's you can tell he's a special driver, right? And you always wonder when these outboard guys come over to inboard, and they, every single time they surprise me at their talent and their ability to drive an inboard hydroplane. So Donnie's a great driver. I look forward to watching you guys battle. And you know, he's driven a GP too, so I'd like to see him in the GP ranks at some point too. Watch you guys go at her. But no, that's a good one. That's a good one for sure. When I think back of the Henderson family, I've known you guys since I was very young. Quite a boat racing history within your family. How much of that do you think is attributed to your childhood, growing up on the St. Lawrence River, having access to boats?
Yeah, well, you know, growing up on the river, and you know, my stepfather was around it. You know, he raced outboards a little bit back in the 70s. So, but being on the water and driving a boat, you know, since I was probably 3 or 4 years old, definitely contributes to you know, reading the water, seeing what the waves do, and just being comfortable behind the wheel of a boat on water. You know, I couldn't imagine you know, not having that, and you know, learning from scratch. So yeah, very, very good to be a part of that and grow up on the river.
Yeah, you know, I tell people all the time that that's where I learned to drive a race boat, when I was 13 or 14 years old, fighting the waves in the channel of the St. Lawrence, right?
Yeah.
If I was to ask you what your favorite race course was, what would it be?
You know, the couple of years we raced in Detroit, I thought that course, the actual course setup was amazing. It was challenged, like, you know, Valleyfield and Detroit, very both challenging drivers race course in my opinion. You know, all different kinds of water conditions on Detroit. The course is you know, it's shaped a little bit differently. So had a lot of fun there. Very challenging in both the GP and the 350. Valleyfield is what Valleyfield is. Then there's, the fun courses are the Rocky Forks and the Waterfords of the world, where you go out there and make a good start, and you put your foot to the floor, and get the opportunity to set a world record, which I was fortunate enough to do in Waterford. So different kind of strokes for different conditions, but from a pure driving ability, Detroit and Valleyfield would be those ones.
That's cool to hear that. I mean, Detroit, to me, I haven't seen the 350s run there, but I would imagine that it's a bit of a nightmare with the course being as rough as it is. We're used to running on rough water, but that's kind of a different animal by the looks of it. But pretty awesome place to be able to go run, right? A lot of history. What would you think the best event on the circuit is? I mean, everybody says Valleyfield, beyond Valleyfield. What are your thoughts?
Well, we like to toot our horn in Brockville. Over the last 5 or 6 years, anyways, when we brought in the good acts and the location to where the camping is, and the course to the pits to the entertainment, definitely, I think we do a very good job there. Tonawanda, from a race, being able to race and hang out with the racers, we love going to Tonawanda every year for that purpose, where you're specifically hanging out with the racers. In Valleyfield, you don't do it as much. In Brockville, we're obviously doing a lot of the work at the organizing, so we don't get to do it as much. So Valleyfield and Cambridge Tonawanda and Cambridge are two race sites that we're able to do that more so than any.
I agree with you. We've had some fun times at both those places.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, sorry. No, I agree with you. I think that, those places kind of breed camaraderie between the racers. And it's so much fun to see that, because at the end of the day, it's a hobby for all of us and an expensive one. So it's nice to see us all let loose a little bit.
And Tonawanda and the racers are putting on, the racers put on the race, same with Cambridge as well, and probably a lot of the other ones. But we're gonna miss them so much. Mike Andres, that party on Friday night, Mike and Terry's place was awesome. Hopefully we'll be able to see that again. And Mike's gonna be missed significantly. But yeah, it's those are the ones that kind of jump out.
Yeah, of course, Mike was a huge loss to the sport. We're all going to miss him a lot. But the memories of the Tonawanda race are going to live on, right? So we just try and remember those things. What is it that you do for a living, Mr. Henderson?
I'm a banker.
He's a banker.
I work for the Royal Bank of Canada. Do residential mortgage origination. Been doing that for about 23 years now. Long time. Love the clients and the service. Helps pay the bills. Yeah.
No, I mean, you're clearly pretty good at it. They haven't let you go. You've been there a long time. So what are your main goals for 21-22?
Well, 2021, again, hoping we're going to be in our boats in Detroit, Beauharnois, Sorel, and Cambridge. Love to go back to those sites. Obviously, it's been, it'll be pretty much 2 years between the last race of the 2019 and the first race of the 2020. So, getting things, getting reacquainted in the boat, and that's really probably number one. Getting out there and competing is number two. In the GP, it'd been a couple of years since I've been in a GP, so getting that boat shook down and set up, absolutely the goals for that for sure. So not I think we always go with the expectation that we want to win. So that's definitely an expectation. But being safe and getting reacquainted with our boats is probably the big thing.
Yeah, I would
And
hope that
nobody can make.
everybody gets a chance to test a bit.
Yeah, I've had 2 years to put get my boat prepared. So all those that want to make fun, it'll probably still be a last minute to get it ready.
I think a lot of guys will probably be in that boat. People have been sitting just waiting to hear, right? So, what if you were to pick an HRL staff member, who would be your favorite?
That's not a fair question.
Everybody usually says the same thing.
Yeah, it's well, I think there's a lot of changes in on the HRL staff coming up as well. So yeah, I'm going to reserve the right on that one.
Nice, Kent. Nice. All right. Well, yeah. I just wanted to ask you a question. Who's the reigning best local driver at the Thousand Islands Regatta?
I don't know.
No. You don't recall?
Did you win it? Did you win it?
Of course. Come on.
We're tied, aren't we?
Yes, we are. We're tied. We're tied.
A little bit of politicking there. U.S. election. I think you stole it from me.
Well, now you've stacked the odds against me because you have 2 rides, and what am I gonna do? Like,
I think the last time I had 2 rides, I think you won it, didn't you?
Yeah, I think so. So hopefully we can stick with that.
I gotta manipulate those vote counters. Company.
If you were to do you ever consider your legacy in the sport?
Well, I really like, my kids are getting up there. Like, Colin's getting to the age where he can get into a JSOC, and he's kind of, expressing some interest in doing it. So, definitely, Bert's not that much older than me, but he started racing quite a bit before I did. And just looking at what he had done, I had no interest in wanting to beat him or do what he did. Just do my best, and what will be. And I think we've done a good job at it. But really, I want the legacy that I did well, but I was clean, and clean at doing it, and a good sportsman, so that when Colin and Carter start coming up through the ranks, that when my name gets brought up, it's brought up in a positive light. So
yeah, it changed your perspective when you have kids coming behind you. Eh? It's
yeah.
But I think that you have that reputation, Kent. Any race that I've ever had with you, you're squeaky clean, buddy. Well, there might have been a couple times you cut me off.
You hear that, Paul? I had to say
that. So who's going to win the 2.5 liter stock championship this year?
I don't know. I was picking one, but I don't know how that's going to go. So, there's a lot of good young ones on there. So, the Aiden Sovies, the Grant Liddycoats, and Matthias. It could be a toss up between any of those. I think Aiden probably has the most experience between them. So I guess he is driving 2.5, right?
Yeah, for Ed Thompson.
Yeah, so I'd probably go with him. Just ultimately due to his experience.
It's a good pick. 2,500.
Well, my younger brother's not in there anymore, so got to go with the guy I'm looking at. I think you're in a good. I think you're inheriting a very good ride, and you're a good driver yourself. So not to jinx you, but if I was a betting man, I'd be betting on you.
No pressure. Thanks, Kent. I appreciate the kind words. H350. Who's going to be the champ?
I think you froze there. You
H350.
H350.
Yeah. Who's going to be the champ?
Yeah. It's I don't like to bet against myself, and I'm going out there to win the championship. have all the tools to do it. So I'm not going to bet against myself. Sorry, Andrew. Sorry, Donnie. And it's such a competitive class. You know, you miss a start, or you break something, or you have bad luck. It's catastrophic for your chances at the championship. Especially like if they're 2021, if we do a four race shootout, you definitely want to be on top of your game. But I'm not going to count myself out.
That's good. That's a good answer. How about the Jersey Speed Skiffs?
Pack is who Pack is, and I think Jimmy Stewart is racing full time in the class this year, or moving forward too.
Yep.
So between Pack and Jimmy, I think that's a tough call.
It's a toss up for sure. It's going to be exciting. And then of course the Grand Prix class. I'm not even going to put pressure on you to pick yourself. So you can't pick yourself in this question. Who's going to be?
I don't pick myself on this one, but yeah, it's again, you look at the names. Jack and Ken coming back up, and obviously the GP 777. They're absolutely the boat to beat. So I have to go with the GP 777. I think they're strong, they're experienced, they're polished. Andrew's definitely a great driver. So I'd be going with those guys.
Not a bad pick at all. I'm excited for the Leptons to come back over. I think they have a chip on their shoulder, and they have something that they want to prove, and it's going to be fun to watch them go for it with new equipment and the backing to do it. So it's going to be cool to watch.
I'd love to see Mike. I'd love to see Monahan do well. I think he's starting to ride out with the sunset, so hopefully he can get one more year and do really well. So I'm gonna give a shout out to Michael.
No, I agree with you, Kent. He's my emotional pick as well. I'd like to see him win it all, and I think he has the tools to do it. So we'll see what happens. If you were to pick, your most memorable win ever, what is it?
Well, the first time in Valleyfield was it's unfortunate we didn't get all 5 laps in, but when that red flag went out and you and I were chatting on the radios, and there was a little bit of a pause there, and you came back and said like to be the first to congratulate you on being the 2016 Valleyfield champ. That was huge. Summer National win in 2011 with our daughter and whatnot. So between the 2011 Summer Nationals and the first Valleyfield, those I'm gonna give a tie on those ones.
It was a special day.
First
man.
GP. Yeah, and the first GP win in St-Felicien was pretty special as well. First time in a final, first win. So that was a pretty happy one as well. But the first Valleyfield, would have to be number one.
Did you go to races as a kid?
We went to Picton at young. Like my folks used to go to Valleyfield. They didn't take us to Valleyfield because it was party time. Sorry, Mom and Jim. But they take us to Picton when we were young. Don't have a lot of memories of it because as I said, we were quite young. I was early mid-teens when we started going back to racing. With ultimately just Bert and I. So a little bit of Picton is basically where we went.
So if you were to pick a driver from like kind of that era, who would it be that you look up to?
Well, there's so many of them. Remember, obviously when it was a little bit older, when we first started going back to the races and doing the inboard races, those races with Jeff and Jimmy and the two in the casino, we were pretty young and going to the races, and those guys, you looked at them kind of on a pedestal, and then then you're all of a sudden you're racing against them and with them, like, wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what's the best road trip of all the races? Best road trip?
All of them.
Yeah, I know, right?
We have fun going to them all. Definitely, one that sticks out was back in the Ville Marie days. We Bert had a Chevy short box with just a single cab. So me and myself and one of the guys sat in the back of Bert's half ton, wide open, from Brothel to Ville Marie, with a case of beer. And I think we drank, I don't know if I can say this online, but it was long enough ago, probably 25 years ago, but drove like in the back of an open truck for 6 hours to Ville Marie. I think Bert forgot Ville Marie, and they're like, yeah, you guys can't drive in the back of that truck, which was kind of hilarious. But one specific road trip that sticks out. But driving to Cambridge in the RV, first race of the year, is probably the funnest one that we have.
I've never heard that story, so that's hilarious. I didn't even know that ever happened.
Oh, it was fun.
If you were to, sorry, I guess it's not if you were to, but who has been your longest standing crew member?
Well, it's who's that present? Sorry.
Yeah,
it's got to be he's going to be happy, but Lee Bob has probably been around the longest.
It's okay to give a shout out to Lee Bob. He loves this sport, right? So this question was for him.
He's been around the longest. He's been very, very loyal. Definitely a good guy.
Yeah. What's your favorite movie, Kent?
Favorite movie? Love Top Gun. Can watch that a bunch of times.
Yeah, that's a good one. How about your favorite musical artist?
Jimmy Buffett. Love him. Love his concerts. Between him and Chesney right now. But Buffett's probably number one right now.
What about your song? What's the best song?
Why Don't We Get Drunk? Buffett. Not my favorite song in the whole world, but if I'm going with the Buffett thing, then that's a fun tune to listen to. I think it fits me. You there, guy?
Yeah, sorry, I lost you for a second there. Just my internet's sketchy. The kids get on the PlayStation and it cuts out. I told them to stay off it, but if you had anywhere, I only have a few more questions for you because we're gonna run out of time. But if you had anywhere else to live in the world other than Brockville, of course, where would it be?
Down in the islands, maybe Hawaii.
Yeah.
We went to Hawaii before and absolutely loved it. I could see myself living there.
Yeah, that's on my bucket list. Who's your favorite hockey team?
I'm not usually a team guy. I'm more of a player guy. If I root for a team, it's usually the Senators because they're the closest by, or any team that's playing the Leafs. In reality, not a big Habs fan, but I was cheering for them last night.
Okay, well, let's go with who's your favorite player then.
I like I've always liked Crosby. He's a pretty class act. He's a winner. Crosby, like McDavid today. I'd love to see. I was torn with Thornton playing on Toronto because I'd love to see Thornton win a cup, but just not with Toronto.
Yeah, I think you made a bad decision there.
Oh.
So who's going to win it this year?
Colorado's tough to beat. I'd like to, of the teams left over, I think I'd like to see Boston win it. a lot of the guys on that team, and they're hard workers and kind of blue collar guys. A lot of people don't like Marchand, but he's one of those guys. If you don't like him, you love him if he was on your team, though.
Yeah, there's some good Canadian content on that Bruins team, and I agree with you about Marchand. I don't like him playing against Montreal because he's just so good. So I'm gonna leave you with this one. Your all-time favorite memory at a race course. You pick the memory. It doesn't have to be about racing. It doesn't have to be about winning or losing or anything like that. Just best memory you've ever had at a race course.
Ooh,
I know
yeah,
there's a million of them.
yeah, and ones that stick out. It's tough. Probably, I probably have to say Cambridge 2010 would probably be the best memory because a lot has happened due to that race. So Cambridge 2010, Matt Cinnamon, and so that I gotta say, by far that probably is number one.
You're so smooth, guy. You're so smooth.
Hey,
But I don't blame you on that one. I mean, your whole life revolves around that date, really, right? So,
yeah.
pretty cool, man. Ken, I want to thank you very much for joining me. It was a pleasure to interview you. I wish you all the best, and you know that I'm behind you, whatever you need, man. Go get them this year, dude. Go get 'em.
Thanks for the interview, and I hate everybody out there. We miss you tons, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
All right, everybody, HRL fans, Mr. Ken Henderson. Look forward to seeing him at your local race venues in 21 and 22. Cheers, everybody. Quarantine Questionnaire. I'm Steve Armstrong. That's Ken Henderson. Cheers, everybody.
Cool. See you guys.